Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just trying to show off these nails. Today I'm taking them off today. That's why I'm filming today. This one's getting a little bit janky because it's white and it's getting dyed by my hair. This one's a little bit weird. The nail's a little bit too big for my finger, but you know, we're doing what we can during these Rona times. Anyways, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your makeup last as long as possible underneath a mask. Now, it's probably hard to hear me through this thing. That's the really annoying thing about these masks. It's so frustrating. So I'm going to take this thing off so I can actually talk to you. Okay, so a lot of us probably are not wearing much makeup right now because, I mean, if we got to be wearing a mask, like, girl, what's the point? But you know, if you're one of our heroes, you're one of the essential workers, you got places to go, you want your makeup on, okay, girl, if you got the energy to do that, props to you, because I ain't wearing like any makeup these days. But if you want to get that fresh beat during the Rona and you want your makeup to last all day under it, girl, I have tested multiple methods and I found one that works. Alright, so before anything, I'm going to be spraying these two guys. The Alcone Stop the Sweat and Mehron Barrier Spray. The reason we want to do these before absolutely anything else is because I want them to penetrate my skin as much as they possibly can in this situation. Normally I would do my moisturizer first, but because we want this to last as long as possible underneath a mask, I don't want any barrier to stop it from penetrating my skin as much as it possibly can. These sprays help to delay oil and sweat, which is going to be so important when you're wearing a mask. And what I really love about these products, especially the Alcone Stop the Sweat, is you can just literally, like, you can feel your pores tightening up. Like, you can feel it working. It's my holy grail product. Now I'm going to be taking my moisturizer, the Embryolisse, however the fuck you say that. I have no idea, but there it is. Ignore my crappy nail. I just painted some press-ons last night or yesterday morning and I regretted my decision immediately, and I want them off, but I can't get them off. You want to make sure that you're not skipping moisturizer because this is what makes your skin super healthy and hydrated, obviously, and when your skin is hydrated it is going to cooperate the best. Now I'm going in with this translucent powder and we are going to set our moisturizer. Yes, I know this is a weird step, but it is an important one if you want your makeup to last all day under a mask. You just want to go in with a light layer. Don't overdo this. You can already tell a difference that your pores really just look filled in and super nice with this method. Next, we're going to do primer. I know it seems so weird to be putting any type of liquids on top of a powder, and I was cringing the first time I did. I was like, there's no way this is going to go well. It's disgusting. It's going to be muddy and gross, but it truly locks in your makeup. I'm going to be going in with this Smith & Colt Blackdrop Charcoal Brightening Primer. You want to use a primer that is not silicone-y and slippery at all. That is not what we want here. We want something that is as sticky as possible so that it gives our makeup something to stick to, which will help it to last as long as possible. Now I'm going to set that with a setting spray. One of the strongest setting sprays I have ever used that I absolutely love. It feels like hairspray on your face, but I don't know. I personally love that because it feels like it's working. Huda Beauty Resting Boss Face. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I'm just going to do a light coating of that. It also smells fucking beautiful. Next, I'm going to be going in with my Mehron Barrier Spray. I love this stuff, as you guys probably know from all of my other videos by now. The reason I'm going to focus so heavily on this stuff in this video, it is very sticky. And I'm going to be putting this on right before I apply foundation so that it gives the foundation something to really stick to. I'm going to be kind of generous with that as well. I'm always generous with it. I'm generous with every single spray. Just pack it on. Pack it on. For foundation, I'm going to be using Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. Holy shit. This one is oil-free, which is going to be really important with longevity of your makeup. Oil is never ever going to help your makeup last. You want it to be pretty much as matte as possible. You also want to be using a long wear foundation. Now, normally I would apply this with a beauty blender, but I am going to press it into my skin with a brush first. And I don't want to wipe because of all the other steps we already did with the powder and everything. I want to just kind of press it into my face. I'm going to be applying Inglot's Eye Makeup Base right onto my nose. This is going to help the foundation to stick and fill my pores in because the mask is going to be rubbing on your nose more than anything else. Now I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to press that in. Now I'm going to take a little bit more foundation and I'm going to press that into my skin with the beauty blender because when we press things into our skin with a brush, it always leaves it a little bit streaky and we just want it to melt. Now for highlighting and concealing, you're going to want to take a concealer that is also long wear and you want something that kind of dries on its own. You don't want to have to set it to dry it, even though we're going to set it. You want something that dries on its own, which means it's not going to have a lot of oil in it, if any at all, and that it's going to be matte and it's going to last a lot longer. I'm going to use what matches my foundation and I'm going to use the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer. And I'm just going to apply that everywhere that I would normally highlight. And then pressing it in with the beauty blender. Now this is going to feel like a lot of makeup because, I mean, let's be real, it is a lot of makeup, but I mean, you just kind of got to decide what you want. Do you want your makeup to last all day under a mask? Or do you want to feel like you're not wearing that much makeup? Like, you know, I know we want to have everything, but let's be real, we can't have everything. You're going to have to pick and choose your battles, sir. Now for contouring, I'm going to go in with the exact same product, just in a darker color to be able to chisel out my face. And normally I would use a brush to do this, but because we really want to focus on only pressing things into our skin with this method, I am not going to use a brush to move this around. Now this isn't the easiest thing to do. It's always way easier to use a brush to blend this out. So if this is too difficult for you, you might just want to skip the cream contouring and only do a powder contour. I personally like to do both, but in this case, you could definitely skip it. Now I'm going to be taking my normal powder, not the translucent powder, and I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Cupcake Easybake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. Holy crap, that is a mouthful. And I'm going to be setting my face with that with my damp beauty blender. Using a damp beauty blender really helps it to just melt into your skin, and that is what we want here. And you don't want to press too hard with this either. When you use a damp beauty blender to press in your powder, you can just really feel it mattifying and melting into your skin. Now I'm going to go in kind of like with my highlighter shade for underneath my eyes and everywhere where we highlighted with concealer. I'm going to use the Urban Decay Stay Naked The Fix powder, and this is up to a 16-hour wear powder foundation. I'm just going to lightly set underneath my eyes. And again, you don't really want to be wiping anything. You want to be pressing everything like into the skin. I'm just going to slightly press that in with my damp beauty blender. That seriously makes all the difference in the world. It just melts everything into your skin so beautifully. Now we're going to go in with another layer of setting spray. And we're just going to sit and let that dry for a couple minutes. We don't want our skin to be wet when we do this next step. Now moving on to a bronzer, blush, and highlighter to finish the face, I'm going to be using my favorite, the Too Faced Natural Face Palette, and I go in and I mix these two bronzer colors for the bronzer, and then I mix these two blush colors for the blush, and then I'm going to be using a separate highlighter. But if you guys want to know what's on the inner corner of my eyes, that is this guy right here. And again, still pressing pretty much everything other than the bronzer. I didn't press that into my face, but everything else, I'm still just pressing it. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and press all of that into the skin and melt it. Now for highlighter, I'm going in with the best highlighter, once again, ever created, the Kristen Leanne Urban Decay Beauty Beam palette. Oh. And I'm going to be mixing these two guys right here. Again, pressing. Pressing. This is all you want to be doing with this method of makeup. Look at that, it's so gorgeous. It's just such a natural glow. This is definitely not a blinding highlighter. Like if you want blinding, go for the Jaclyn Hill loose highlighter powder. That blinding. This stuff is, it definitely can pop, but it's just super natural. Once again, a damp beauty blender, and I'm going to press that highlight into the skin and melt. Now once again, setting with our resting boss face. And while that is still wet, we're going to take our translucent powder one last time, and we are going to set that spray super lightly. Girl, this makeup is going fucking nowhere. And now final step, I'm going to hit it with my Mehron barrier spray once more, as well as my Nye Final Seal. This is the setting spray that I use on my clients, hence why I have such a gigantic bottle. This stuff is professional. It is no joke. It is gold. This is what I'm going to finish off with because your makeup's going nowhere already, let alone with this stuff. Now, because I have such a gigantic bottle of that Nye Final Seal, I have poured some of it into a spray bottle. And I am super generous with that one. Holy crap. Don't open your eyes too fast with that one. It's fucking powerful. What I'm going to do is my Lip Sense matte lip gloss. The reason I am using matte, and I highly recommend that you use matte, is because if you were to use a glossy gloss, that it gets all over everything. Like that's just like the grossest feeling in the world, you know, when you're driving and then your hair gets in your glossy lipstick, like just stay away from that. This is a nice alternative because although it hydrates, it's nothing that's going to get on your mask. Like you can wear this all day under the mask and your lips are going to feel good, but it's not going to feel gross, you know what I mean? Now, one thing that I do recommend doing, because our face has so many layers on it, no matter how much you try to wipe this off and like make it look natural, like it's not fucking going to. Like, girl, it's not going to. So, to aid in that problem, I'm going to do a light layer of just like a nude, why can't I think of the word right now? Lip liner. There you go. Light bulb. Just a super light nude color. And then I'm going to blend that into the rest of my lips just so that the lips are lined and it hides this gross line of where your foundation stops. I wouldn't even like overline your lips or anything. Like just don't do anything crazy. This is literally just to hide that gross line. I'm going to take a brush and just blend that higher up into my lips so that it looks super natural. See how that just like really nicely gets rid of that gross foundation line? But you barely have anything on. Like it's not even a big deal, but it just like fixes that problem, you know? That is it for my tips on how to make your makeup last for as long as possible underneath a mask. It is definitely a lengthy process and it definitely feels cakey, and it was feeling cakey more when the foundation was more wet, but after that Nye Final Seal, that really, this stuff is just gold. It really refreshes your face, and honestly, it doesn't feel like I have that much on anymore. I highly recommend that stuff. This mask was given to me by one of my followers. Her Instagram is right here. If you want to buy one of her masks, definitely hit her up. She is such a cool girl, and oh my gosh, there is not a mask that is more perfect for me. There really isn't. So Jasmine, I appreciate you. I love you. This mask is life. And just talking right there, I mean, it's rubbing on my face really bad right here. And your nose is going to be your biggest problem. And I personally have a huge problem with my nose to begin with. Makeup never, ever wants to stay on my nose. But after this and the mask rubbing a bunch right here, I actually went off camera and let it rub like for a while because I wanted to be able to show you guys. And literally nothing came off like at all. So I really truly believe in this method. I hope that it helps you guys, and if you guys try it, please let me know if it worked for you. If you have any other tips, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.